Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Bros here with another Marvel Rivals video. And today, I want to talk about that boy Ultron, or who I am now calling Goatron. I'm not debating you. I don't care what your opinion is. This dude is goated. And I know I haven't been dropping videos as often as I would like. And I don't have like this crazy fan base of people like begging me to put videos out or anything. So I probably don't even need to explain this. But I know my drops have been pretty inconsistent. But definitely had like the two of the worst weeks of my life recently, and it's starting to come back together. So hopefully I can put out a little bit more consistent content and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to say that apologize to whoever it actually does watch or who actually does want to see these videos. I know it's not many people, but to the ones that do click on this and do like it or support what I'm making, I do appreciate you. Thank you very much. Now back to this guy, Ultron. I've been wanting to make this video for a while, but I didn't want the dust to settle because, first impressions, I made a video of my first impressions on the guy, and I was thoroughly impressed because this is the guy that got so much hate. Like, he was going to be the worst character in the game, worst support in the game. Now, I think what I was hearing is that he actually did get buffed from when the, content creators got the first play with him. I don't know how true that is or not. I didn't do more research on that, but I did read and see and hear that a few times. Basically, the devs gave him a buff, I guess, because of the feedback. So maybe he was the worst character in the game. But when he launched, my first impressions were this guy is nutty. And now that the dust is settled, man, I do want to say that I am here to confirm that this dude is indeed him. We're not calling him Ultron, we're calling him Goatron, like I said. And I just want to give a gameplay, breakdown, because this is a celestial game where I just absolutely cooked. Now, one thing I do want to say about Ultron is I think he's pretty high skill. I think he requires mechanical skill for sure. It's all about his aim, right? Because you can put the drone. What makes him special is you put the drone on somebody, and you do have to juggle it. But for the most part, he is a DPS, man. I mean, if you hit your shots, you can affect the game in ways that I don't think any other support can. Maybe an Adam Warlock, maybe, because Adam Warlock does do great damage, don't get me wrong, but the fact that this guy can fly and take crazy angles even while being behind his team, there's so many times where I'm I just float up a little bit and I shoot into their backline and get a pick on a support. It's actually insane, or a pick on their DPS. Sometimes I outshoot Hellas. He also counters flyers. I mean, this guy does so much. Now, the one thing I will say, and the knock on him, is that he doesn't heal a lot, which I think is BS. Because there's so many times where I get blamed. Oh, we got Ultron heals, and I got the most heals in the lobby. I think what people don't like about him is his burst heals aren't crazy, right? He's not going to get you. If you make a bad decision, he's not going to save you. Typically, he's not going to save you. I mean, sometimes you can get in, get a little bit of heals, pop the shield. Maybe your ult can definitely save people. But if you have a tank making bad decisions, overextending, or DPS overextending, I don't have the heal. Ultron doesn't have the heals to make up for bad positioning, bad decision making, and I think he gets blamed a lot because of that, right? Because supports want you, or tanks and DPS want you to have that cloak and dagger bubble they can throw on you while healing you, or the Loki lamps that can instantly save you. I get it. And I think Ultron is his value. I don't want to say you put it on other people, but the better your teammates are, or not even the better, the smarter your teammates are, the more value you're going to get with Ultron. People that position themselves well, play off each other, like two tanks that play off each other and can share the heals. I mean, this dude is insane when you have good teammates. Now, when you have bad teammates who are overextending, always out of your line of sight, people you can't drone, people who don't group up, yeah, it's gonna be ugly. This guy cannot make up. His healing is not good enough to make up for the things that I'm listing off, right? But when you have certain people on your team or certain characters, and I want to be clear, I think this guy can play in almost any comp, right? In almost any comp. He can play with any tanks, any DPS. Now, obviously, he has stronger DPS play with, if you got a Black Panther, he can't really do much for you. because his shields don't reach you, his drone doesn't reach you. Maybe he can team shot what you're diving if he can see it. But you know, there's obviously like characters that he benefits more from playing with than not, right? Like he's gonna do much better with like a Bucky because he can put the drone on Bucky and fly next to Bucky when he needs heals. Emma, a tank who's gonna just be sturdy on the front line. Emma's going to absolutely feast, as you can see even right here. She's getting all these kills because she has such survivability. That's one thing too. Like the drone, it doesn't put the craziest heals out, but if you have any kind of survivability, you're not dying with the drone on you, unless you get like combo ulted. Like if Groot ults you and Moon Knight drops his ult onto Groot ult, yeah, of course it's gonna kill you. But you know, overall, man, the hills are not. Wolverine's another good option. I'm watching this video now as I'm commentating it, and Wolverine is a great DPS to run with Ultron because he has such great survivability with his damage mitigation, his passive, that if he's got a drone on him pocketing him, your Wolverine should be able to absolutely feast. And he'll probably be playing next to a tank or bringing a tank back to your front line, and whoever's around the Wolverine's going to get healed. And here you see the ult. The ult can definitely keep you alive or keep the teammates alive that are being ulted or one-shot or need that burst healing that we say he doesn't have. He does have it in his ult. Now, I want to say I do think he has one of the weaker ults out of all the supports, but you charge it so fast that I think it's a great decision that the devs made it. Not an OP ult, but one that you get extremely fast. I think that's a great trade-off. I've made some great plays with his ult. It's not overwhelming. It's not gonna overachieve. It's not gonna save games, but man, you can definitely make plays here and there with his ultimate. Big Jeff ult right there. But you know, I love what the devs did with this guy. I think he's very unique. Obviously, just being a flyer in itself as a support is extremely unique. But the fact that he can just put out crazy damage, like if you watch me and when I'm hitting shots, it's so hard for the other team to push up while taking so much damage. It's like going against, you know, an extra player almost. Now, one of the last things that I do want to talk about in detail is like the mentality of when you have an Ultron. There's so many times, right? Like, because I'm a flex player. If you guys watch my streams or watch my content, you know, I'm a flex player. Almost 90% of the time, I pick last. Like, if I'm picking first or second, I'm probably tilted. I'm probably on a losing streak, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not playing support or this game, or I want to play what I want to play. But usually, I'm picking dead last. And one thing that I absolutely hate, and I went through this as an Adam Warlock main, is when you pick Adam Warlock or when you pick Ultron, what people do is they immediately either one, complain, or two, go triple support. I hate both, right? Like, and triple support has its place in the game, obviously. Sometimes you need it. I think we actually switched to it here for the last fight because they were just rolling and we couldn't figure out what was going on. These guys actually did turn it up. So sometimes, you know, triple support is good, it's necessary, whatever. But out of the gate, I do not like triple support. I think you should try the 2-2-2 or 3 DPS 1 tank, whatever, you know, whatever floats your boat. I mean, sometimes triple support is just what people want to run. I'm not a fan of it. And I say that to say Ultron can 100% carry, like, I don't, not carry the heals, but be the secondary healer. Now, that does mean that your main healer needs to be goated, right? Be good at what they do. Be focus heals, right? Like, you can't have a DPS Loki on your team or a DPS Cloak and Dagger on your team if you have Ultron, right? You will get absolutely cooked. Nobody will stay alive. And even there, you can see, like, we did have triple support, and it did not matter. They still, you know, walked us down even when we switched to it, so it's not always the answer. And then we go back to 2-2-2, which I think is the best thing to run. Even when you have an Ultron, I just think that, you know, people have to be aware that you have an Ultron. You should have a main healer who is amazing at what they do, focusing heals, and it'll all fall into place. Because, you know, if you have 2 tanks taking space, you have 2 DPS getting kills, Ultron can get so much value. Now, if you're lacking, you know, in the tank department or the DPS department, you know, you got a whole nother problem on your hands. And likely they will blame Ultron for lack of heals when, you know, it's debatable whose fault it is when you have these arguments. But, you know, we just, as you can see, we're getting demolished on triple support. We went back to 2-2 because we, you know, sometimes you go triple support and you're just lacking damage or you're lacking that tank presence. And instead of giving Ultron the space to ball out, like as you can see in this video, this is probably my best Ultron game ever. Like I say, it's Celestial. You'll see the in-game stats. As you can see, I'm hitting all my shots. You know, I mean, obviously there's times where I'm like floating too high and I can't really aim down. But overall, I'm like doing pretty well damage-wise. I'm doing pretty well juggling the heals. I'm giving shields at good times like that. And, you know, I'm going to be the ace of the match. Some people want to, you know, argue that ace doesn't matter. I'm not one of those people that think ace doesn't matter. I think there may be a little bit too much, what's the word I'm looking for? Too much blame or liability put on ace, or credit is what I'm looking for actually. Too much credit. Because people, you know, people want to use ace as, oh yeah, I'm ace. You guys are getting carried, and that's not always the case, right? Like, you're taking too much credit for the team's success, or, you know, using it as a tool to say, I'm better than you guys. I'm not the problem. Because I've had aces that were hard countered, or, you know, you have aces that are not healing. You know, maybe a Loki who has, you know, 5,000 damage and 2,000 heals, and the team can't really stay alive, so everyone's dying except the Loki, and he's farming damage, right? Like, and he'll be ace. So there are situations where ace doesn't matter. Big kill on that Jeff, by the way. You know, this is some pretty impressive games, not gonna lie. And I use my drone and my shield at perfect timing to keep them alive there from that Wolverino. But, you know, just a few things that Ultron can do. But, you know, overall, I think that was a long-winded rant of, you know, if you have an Ultron in the lobby, man, let him cook. Give him a shot. Now, not every Ultron's going to be good. Not every Ultron's going to have gameplay like this. I'm not saying I'm like a great Ultron or the best Ultron or anything like that, but not every Ultron's going to have the game of their life, because this was the game of my life, probably. And sometimes they need to switch. There are definitely games where I switched off Ultron. I'm not like, oh, I got a one-trick Ultron, I'm not switching. Like, sometimes they have a Hela and a Punisher, and I'm like, you know what, man? I just died 3 times in a row. Let me swap, because these guys are clearly targeting me. They're taking me out of the sky. You know, I need to swap. Just like every other role, right? And since he's a flyer, he can easily be countered. Now, Great Ultron can, you know, he can peek shot, he can poke, he can play, you know, play corners, because, you know, he doesn't have to just sit there and pump out heals, right? He can put the drone and peek shot. Now, speaking of drone, this is a glitch I come across. I don't know if anyone else has come across this glitch, but as you can see, there was no option to put the drone on Squirrel Girl. And I don't know what triggers that, but that's happened to me quite a few times in ranked, and people have died because of it. So hopefully they've fixed that by the time this video comes out, or they're fixing it in the future. But yeah, I'll put a drone on somebody, swap it to somebody, and try to put it back on them, and it doesn't let me. So as you can see, the Squirrel Girl had to back up and play heals. Unfortunately. Awkward situation, probably thinking like, why is this guy not healing me? But at least he went and played a med kit, and didn't complain, didn't, you know, cuss me out. But anyway, guys, yeah, man, I think I've said enough. I think I've ranted long enough. I think Ultron is A tier, man. I don't want to give him S tier because I think his ult isn't strong enough. In the heals, the burst heals, you know, not keeping people alive in crazy situations. But I think A tier, man. Maybe even A plus. And I absolutely love this character, man. It just shows how hard the devs can cook. And the Marvel Rivals devs do cook. That is what they do. That is their specialty. They are chefs in the dev lab. So yeah, man, I just want to thank you guys, man. If you enjoyed the video, drop a comment, drop a like. You know, be on the lookout for more content. Hopefully more consistent content. You know, I do appreciate you guys, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Take care.
Stop us.
You owe me now. Remember that.
The current score is 3-2-3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
Look at us. We practically match.
This is haute couture, darling. Designed by Jumbo Carnation himself.
Oh, my costume just kinda came with my powers.
And I'm practically seething inside about how good it looks.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only 60 seconds left.
Honestly, I'd be surprised if good old Dooney isn't behind us.
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
That helps.
So cold. Just embrace the light.
Who gave me this awesome shield?
I found trouble. I have suffered.
Down to 30 seconds. I'm under here!
You won't. Ultron.
We got a shield, Tandy.
So much for your Emperor's perfection.
This one! Push it down!
Extermination! Let myself get hit.
The final 10 seconds! Time! Us against the world! You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Damage is repairable. Systems rebooting. Ultron purpose reinforcement. I am strengthened. I am correction.
I suppose that helps. I do love your particular brand of violence slogan.
Ultron purpose reinforcement.
The current score is 3, 2, 3.
Please, I think later.
I'll come get that vehicle to its destination.
Tandy needs help.
So much for your claim. Energy levels rising. Ultron darkness reinforcement. I am good. This is my unnatural selection. Ultron darkness reinforcement.
Really enjoy putting you down.
Extermination!
Us against the world!
Ready to roll.
Thank you.
Emperor's perfection. I found trouble. So much of
I'll get you next time. I appreciate you.
Berserker!
You love your particular brand of violence slogan.
I have suffered. Strong defense.
Only 60 seconds left. Final score 4, 2, 3.